right, so our next CEO is a lifelong entrepreneur who is also mechanically inclined. His recent venture is very close to the heart and is a life-saving solution that was inspired by tragic events. Please join me in welcoming Robert Attari and his company, Safe Emission Systems.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to FIU StartUP Pitch Night. My name is Robert Attari. I am the president of Safe Emission Systems, and we manufacture emission control products for small gasoline-powered engines. How many of you out there own a generator or used a generator last year during Hurricane Irma? Probably a lot of us. So we have life down here in South Florida. Did you know over 500 people a year die from carbon monoxide and small gasoline engines, home generators? I know this story all too well because my neighbors passed away years back from using a generator like they should, 10 feet from their window. This is the Rodney Todd family. They were using a generator, had a power outage several years back. And this is the Rodney Todd family 1 week later after they decided to use that generator. 7 children and father, just trying to keep their lights on. On top of that tragic stat, over 25,000 people visit the ER every year from carbon monoxide poisoning in small gasoline engines and generators. You might ask yourself, why does that happen? This is interesting. The average generator you all have at home puts out the same carbon monoxide as 450 automobiles. That's crazy. Could you imagine trying to go to sleep safely with 450 automobile tailpipes by your window in a 12-by-12 room? That's why these numbers are so high. The answer to this is the product. The Clean Air Muffler System, CAMS as we like to call it, is the only aftermarket product, bolt-on product, that eliminates 99.1% of the carbon monoxide emissions from all small gasoline engines. That generator just showed you with this green muffler on it, which is the CAMS product, would lower that level from 450 cars to the same level as a 4-gas burner stove you might be cooking dinner with tonight when you go home. The product was tested and verified by a CARB EPA ISO 9000 laboratory in Fullerton, California, verifying the 99.1% reduction of carbon monoxide. FDNY and NYU Polytech University also tested this product and verified a 99.1% reduction in carbon monoxide. There's 3 market segments. We're in 3 of these. There are a lot more. Fire rescue, there are about 20 million generators. Home generators, about 20 million. Concrete and construction, almost 300 million engines that need carbon monoxide abatement. The driving force behind sales for me is OSHA. Mandates have come down this year requiring that all levels be below 50 parts per million in the workforce area. OSHA is fining and shutting construction jobs down because of carbon monoxide levels. I am opening those jobs back up with my product, selling into the market. Our revenue model, we are using a distributor-based model into police and fire, cold calling construction companies, and we do have a small e-commerce platform working right now. These are the 4 products that we have across all 3 verticals that are the most popular engines used. So this is about 65 or 70% of those engines used will use these small mufflers. Traction, well, we started selling in late 2016. We did $22,000. Last year we did $50,000, and this year we're scaling up, and we're going for a 3,000 unit, $1,200,000 revenue stream. Our goals, our short-term goals here, for 2018 we're doing 3,000 units, 2019 10,000 units, and in 2020 30,000 units. The ask, $200,000. We're looking to secure some patents. We have iteration 2, which is going to be a smart technology for the same product. We're also needing some new website SEO, SEM, marketing and advertising, and some staffing and some salespeople in the industry-related areas. I will be working as CEO myself and president of the company. Acting CEO will be Diane Mitchell, who works at Whole Foods, who's been there 16 years as a controller and accountant and purchaser. My advisory panel is Melinda Sisler, Dr. Isaac Ray, who is one of the top 50 emissions pollution control scientists in the world, and Scott Moskowitz. Thank you, StartUP FIU, that is Safe Emission Systems, safety and cleaning the air we breathe.
Great job. Can you talk a little bit about how specifically in which channels you're going to be targeting to reach that 3,000 unit figure this year?
Good question. Primarily, I'm going to be going for construction. The distributors that work for fire and rescue are currently selling the product, but OSHA is pushing construction companies for an answer, and they don't know I exist, except for about 20 companies who have reordered from me since last year. So all of my focus is going to be at the construction. If they need the product, they order the product, they pay for it immediately right away. There's no purchase orders, there's no 30-day delay, and it's an immediate source of income.
Do you have any competition? You seem like you've got a big problem and an OSHA mandate. There's got to be other people trying to do this.
No one's trying to do it because for years, the science and the technology behind this has led everyone to believe that it can't be done with a single unit catalyst. The answer of what the CDC and the CPSC are looking toward is a fuel-injected motor, which requires fuel injection, a computer chip, an airflow module, and a catalyst. 4 components. And some of the bigger companies are actually switching to this, which is a complete overhaul and tooling, and the increase of the price of the unit is going to go 3 times. Oh, come on. That's the only answer for carbon monoxide at the moment.
Congratulations, very well done.
Thank you.
How do you factor in how many sales people you'll need, and what will that cost you, and where will you concentrate your initial efforts?
My initial efforts will be in concrete construction. I have actually recruited a couple of the fire rescue friends that I have. They're industry related for the small engines and do sell my product into fire rescue. I only need a small staff of maybe 3 to 4 salespeople. I myself just took an order today for 100 units that I don't have. I'm actually machining those right now as we speak. But it doesn't take a whole lot of sales staff to create big numbers because the units for the construction companies are huge. In terms of how many engines they have, each construction company may have 200 to 300 gasoline-powered engines that they'll need carbon monoxide abatement for.
My question here is more towards the consumer application of your product. So you mentioned that each unit costs $500. How does that compare to the typical generator cost? And second part to that would be, if it's very closely aligned, what are sensitivities surrounding paying that level of price for a unit like this?
It is a good question, and a lot of people have asked me that. And we currently make a model that was designed for fire and rescue. In fact, the first units we ever made were for Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue. They needed something that was what they call bulletproof because they break everything. The unit is made of SS304 stainless steel, 14 gauge. It's very heavy, very durable, will not break, will last forever. We do need to make a less expensive unit in terms of the housing for the commercial market, but there are home generators or consumers that are buying it because, quite honestly, yes, a generator is $500, so is my product, but what is the baby's life worth? What is grandma's life worth? What is the family's life worth? And I put it in perspective like this. You're not buying a muffler, you're buying the safety. You're not paying $500 for a shiny silver thing that goes on your generator. It's a safety factor, but to your question, there is going to be a less expensive unit made for consumers.
Great. Thank you.
Robert, thank you. I have a very uninformed question. Is there a clean energy alternative to the generators that are causing this pollution? And do you think your fix is kind of a transition technology, or it's something that will be there for many more years?
It'll be there for many more years. The issues are with these small engines, plain and simply, they burn fuel very inefficiently. When any engine burns fuel inefficiently, it causes a tremendous amount of carbon monoxide. And the only other way that they can burn efficiently is moving to a fuel-injected motor, which would make that $500 generator now $1,500 because of the computer chip, the modulation, and other components. So there is going to be a trend moving towards that by 2024, I believe. All manufacturers will have to have any technology. There's no indication that it'll have to be either fuel injection or my product. It can be anything as the rule reads right now, but they just need to have a product that reduces carbon monoxide, I think by 70% is what they're requiring. I'm at 99.1. You really can't get any better than that. And a fuel injected motor doesn't do 99.1. At best, it does 75%. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert. Our next founder